When Scott and I broke up, I set certain boundaries with him.
I told him, like, I'm not just sitting around. I'm living my life, and you're working on you. And, like, you've never been better, but you're so inconsistent that I need to see if, like, you can be.
Scott Disick has taken an unexpected and dramatic step in his relationship with ex-partner Kourtney Kardashian, filing for full custody of their eldest child, Mason Disick, following a recent incident that has left both parents shaken. What appeared to be a typical accident involving their 14-year-old son has escalated into a legal battle, with Scott seeking control over Mason's living situation. What exactly led to this dramatic move, and what does it mean for Mason, Kourtney, and the rest of the family? In this video, we'll break down the details surrounding the incident, Scott's custody filing, and the emotional aftermath of it all. Before diving into the legal proceedings, let's first revisit the tragic event that triggered Scott's decision. Just a few days ago, Mason was involved in a serious accident at his mother's home in Calabasas. According to reports, while running down a set of stairs, Mason slipped and fell, resulting in a fractured arm and multiple bruises and scrapes. Thankfully, the injury was not life-threatening, but the emotional impact of the accident was profound for both parents. Kourtney, understandably devastated, rushed Mason to the hospital, where he received immediate medical care. Doctors have assured that Mason is expected to make a full recovery, but what initially seemed like a simple childhood mishap quickly took on a much more complex dimension. Scott's reaction to the incident was far from what most expected. While it's natural for any parent to be concerned when their child is injured, sources close to the family claim that Scott was not only worried about Mason's physical well-being, but also disturbed by Kourtney's handling of the situation. According to these sources, Scott grew frustrated with what he perceived as a lack of immediate action on Kourtney's part, particularly in ensuring Mason's safety around the house. Scott allegedly expressed concerns that the stairs at Kourtney's home were more hazardous than they seemed and believed that Kourtney had failed to address these risks properly. Though accidents are a part of life, Scott's frustration seemed to go beyond the incident itself and centered on whether the environment at Kourtney's house was truly safe for Mason. This growing concern led Scott to make the surprising decision to file for full custody of Mason. In his custody petition, Scott reportedly emphasized that now that Mason is becoming more independent, he requires a more stable and secure environment to ensure his safety. Scott's move appears to be motivated by a combination of genuine worry for his son and a desire to have more influence over Mason's day-to-day life, particularly when it comes to his physical well-being. This legal action has undoubtedly caught Kourtney off guard. The mother of three has always been seen as a hands-on parent, and many sources close to her have described her as devastated by Scott's sudden decision. Kourtney, who has worked hard to maintain a cooperative and supportive co-parenting relationship with Scott, never anticipated that her actions as a mother would be called into question, according to insiders. Kourtney is heartbroken not only because of Mason's injury, but also because she feels blindsided by Scott's custody filing. For years, Kourtney and Scott have successfully co-parented their children, Mason, Penelope, and Rain, in a relatively peaceful manner, despite their breakup. Kourtney had always prided herself on being part of a successful co-parenting dynamic with Scott, even after their romantic relationship ended. She believed they were on the same page when it came to raising their children. However, Scott's decision to file for full custody has made Kourtney question the nature of their relationship and whether Scott still trusts her judgment as a parent. This action has caused emotional turmoil for Kourtney, with many of her family and friends rallying around her and criticizing Scott for what they perceive as an impulsive and overly dramatic move. Some of Kourtney's supporters have voiced the opinion that Scott's actions may be more about control than genuine concern for Mason's safety. A number of fans have taken to social media, with many accusing Scott of using the accident as an excuse to undermine Kourtney's ability to parent. One Twitter user argued that Scott should be supporting Kourtney during this difficult time rather than dragging her into a public custody battle. Others, however, have sympathized with Scott, asserting that his concerns about Mason's safety were valid and that he is simply acting as any protective father would. The center of all this chaos is, of course, Mason himself. Though physically recovering from the fall, Mason is reportedly shaken by the emotional weight of the situation. Sources close to the family have revealed that Mason is confused by the tension between his parents and overwhelmed by the fact that Scott is now seeking full custody. At 14, Mason is old enough to understand the gravity of the situation, and it's believed that he is struggling to cope with the emotional toll of seeing his parents at odds. Adding to the pressure is the constant scrutiny from the public and paparazzi, which only exacerbates the strain Mason is already feeling. The real question now is how this custody battle will affect Mason in the long term. Will the emotional fallout from his parents' disagreement leave lasting scars, or will the family eventually find a way to reconcile and put Mason's well-being first? As tensions between Scott and Courtney continue to rise, Mason may bear the brunt of their fractured relationship. But despite these challenges, both Scott and Courtney have a long history of co-parenting their children in the public eye, and it remains to be seen whether they can navigate this new chapter in their dynamic for the sake of their son. The custody filing represents more than just a disagreement over parenting style. It's a fundamental shift in how Scott views Courtney's ability to care for their children. As sources have pointed out, Scott's decision to seek full custody is not simply about Mason's safety, but may also be rooted in deeper feelings of isolation and control. With Courtney's personal life in the spotlight, especially her relationship with Travis Barker, it's possible that Scott's feelings of emotional disconnect may have influenced his decision. In a time of personal struggle, Scott may be seeking a way to regain control over his family's situation. Public reactions to Scott's custody filing have been mixed, with fans divided on whether his concerns are justified or whether he is overstepping. Some believe that Scott's actions are a necessary response to protect his son, while others see his behavior as an attempt to undermine Courtney as a mother. This public feud has added another layer of complexity to the already challenging situation, with fans continuing to voice their opinions across social media platforms. As the custody battle moves forward, the future of Scott and Courtney's co-parenting relationship hangs in the balance. Will they be able to put their differences aside for the sake of their children, or will this legal dispute mark the beginning of a more permanent rift in their family dynamic? The road ahead remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: Mason's well-being is at the heart of this contentious battle, and how his parents handle the situation will shape their relationship and their family for years to come. The next few months will undoubtedly be filled with emotional twists and turns as Scott and Courtney navigate the difficult path ahead. As we continue to follow this developing story, we invite you to share your thoughts. Do you believe Scott's decision is justified, or do you think he's acting out of control? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on this ongoing custody drama. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you